farewell, adios, auf Wiedersehen, cheerio. I wonder why I started it like that. Well, on Thursday it was a very special day in the Christian calendar, and that's because it was called Ascension Day. And that is a very special day. And it's a day when Jesus said his big goodbye. He was going to be back in heaven with his Father in glory, and that he could bring heaven to earth and earth to heaven in a new way and a glorious way. And let's watch a video to explain.
Then for the next 40 days, Jesus appeared to his disciples and many others and showed them that he was alive and well. He taught them that what he did was the only way that they could be forgiven and be with God forever. Jesus told his disciples that he did all the things that God had told everyone that he would do, and the disciples understood what he was saying.
Yep, that makes sense.
He told them that he would send the Holy Spirit, just as God had promised to be their helper.
Sounds good.
After Jesus had spent 40 days with the disciples and appeared to many people,
Hey, that's it.
he led the disciples to a place called Bethany. Jesus blessed the disciples and told them to go out and tell the whole world about him and the good news of forgiveness and make disciples of them. Then he said, "Be sure of this, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Then Jesus was taken into heaven to sit at the right hand of God. Not long after that, the Holy Spirit did come to the disciples to be their helper. The disciples knew that God would truly be with them always. And the Holy Spirit is still with us today, for Jesus promised that he would be with us to the end of the age, and he is.
Okay, so some questions. How do you think the disciples felt when they saw Jesus returning to heaven? Often in the Bible, a cloud is a symbol of God being present and of God's glory. Now, I think we'd like to do some experiments. And on the Sunday School at Home page, you'll be able to make your own cloud. So you'll be able to do that. Make sure you do it with an adult though. When you go out for a walk, I want you to have a look at the clouds in the sky. We've not had many, but I know yesterday we had some clouds in the sky and we had some rain. I want you to go out for a walk and have a look at the clouds in the sky, have a look at the shapes, see if there's any animals actually in the clouds. I used to like that as a little girl. Now, I'm going to be talking about rising, and I want a challenge this week. I'm going to suggest we have a St Gabriel's bake-off. See if you can make something that rises. Now, it might be a loaf of bread, it might be a cake. I've got a cheats one here, a pud in a mug. And on the Sunday School at Home page, you will also see that there's a website for a cake in a mug that you'll be able to make also if you want to do it a little bit of a cheats way. Now I've got a helper, I've got Bella here. Come in, Bella. Who's going to do a rising experiment for us?
Okay, so for this experiment you'll need a glass, some raisins and some sparkling water. Make sure you do this one with an adult as well. So first you need to get your glass and pour it halfway with some fairly new sparkling water. Done. And then you add in your raisins. And then they should start rising up and then they will come down. But then...
Oh, so the raisins are dancing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so they're rising up and down.
Uh-huh. And I don't think...
Oh! Wow, they are. I wonder what causes that. The raisins are rising up and down.
I don't think this is still working, but here's one we made earlier. But at the end, they'll just sit at the bottom, and then the water will look all murky and disgusting.
Wow, so the raisins are actually rising up and down. They are dancing. So there's another experiment that you might like to do. Thank you very much, Bella. Now, okay, so today's dancing raisins. Rising up and down. Now, to finish, Ascension is a time leading up to Pentecost. And Pentecost is a time of waiting, a time of thy kingdom come. Now, you've probably seen this here, an Easter egg. That's a time of waiting. I wonder how many of you children have got Easter eggs. A time of waiting, and I can see these raisins are rising and dancing in my eye line here. A time of waiting here for this Easter egg, this chocolate, and Reverend Mark finds it very difficult to actually have chocolate in the house. So a time of waiting, thy kingdom to come, a time from Ascension to Pentecost, a time of waiting and praying. Can you think of a time when you have found it difficult and you've got to be patient, waiting for someone or something? Have a chat with your families about that, because waiting is very difficult, isn't it? And I want to give you a challenge for thy kingdom come. I want us to pray for 5 people. And this has been good during lockdown. We are waiting to see those 5 people, aren't we? We're waiting to see our friends, we're waiting to see our family. And I want you to think of them. 5 people who you want to pray for. Okay? Let me close with a prayer for us all. It's half term. Some of us will be going back to school. Some of us, it may be a long time. So Father, thank you for fun. Thank you for half term. And may we have some fun family time. Amen.